Hey, Studio 108 family, thanks so much for clicking in. I'm just sitting back here with Kaley today. You know Kaley Tocco. You know her for her Monday night yin cult following. Now, why is that? Why do so many people want to come on Monday night and practice with Kaley? Well, there you go. So even when she giggles, it's a little fairy princess laughter of glitter coming down, kind of brightening up my day. So yeah, I wanted to sit with Kaley because she offers some really unique services here, and we want to unpack it a little bit for you. What's going on, Kaley?
Well, I offer multiple options, but lately I've been combining them together.
That's
Well,
cool.
like the Reiki and the Access Bars, have been combined together lately for an extra oomph. And then Thai massage is usually just Thai massage, but always Reiki at the end of Thai massage.
See,
Mm-hmm.
this is one of the things that I think is so exciting about these times that we're in is that there's a synergy that we're starting to feel into where it's not just I'm doing this one thing, this is the one thing I'm doing, like this singular track, but people discovering all these different talents and interests and finding ways to integrate them and to create something uniquely their own. And I think that's one of the reasons why people love that Monday night is I don't know that there's ever a time when you're being you, that
Mm-hmm.
you're not somehow energetically sharing a
Definitely.
stream.
Yeah.
So like there's a Reiki stream that like kind of comes through you
Yeah. I
that
feel like yins are a very safe space. I do everything I can to make this space as safe as possible. And I feel like people just feel comfortable releasing their bodies in that kind of
yeah,
environment.
yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So thanks for holding that for us.
Yeah.
These are nervous system days.
Yeah.
This is like nervous system care. If you haven't given a thought to your nervous system, then I'm glad you're listening because today's a good day to kind of take a deep breath and appreciate like that the nervous system is the root of the rest of the health.
Mm-hmm.
And, that rest and digest is the place where your body can heal
Yeah.
physically and mentally and emotionally and energetically. So Kaley offers 3 private services here that she was just telling me how she combines them now too. So
Mm-hmm.
like that's what I mean. It's like there's this integration of and her own practice lets her be responsive and clear and accurate and helpful in
Yeah.
that way. So let's chunk through each of these different modalities
Yeah.
so that folks can hear a little bit about them, and
Mm-hmm.
then let's unpack it.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with?
We can start with Thai massage.
Cool. What's Thai
Yeah.
massage?
So Thai massage it's very different than a regular massage. One of the main differences is that you keep all your clothes on. A lot of people, get a little nervous thinking about having to take their clothes off, but you keep all your clothes on, mostly like yoga clothes or loose fitting clothes work best. And the other difference is that it's on a Thai massage mat on the floor. So not the table kind of massage that you're used to. And its focuses on the meridians or the sen lines, which are how Chinese medicine believes that energy moves through you via like the organs. Mm-hmm. So there's specific lines on the body that associate to specific organs, which I also rope this into the yin class a lot too.
Right.
Because different poses will activate those different meridians as well. And so we always start at the feet. It's traditional to start at the feet, and a lot of people who do Thai massage don't always start at the feet, but for me, it's always starting at the feet and ending at the head. And the idea is to take the energy and push it up and out of the body. Mm-hmm. So I always end with Reiki to kind of like zen everything back out, put everything back, fill all the spaces that we emptied out and all of that. And then not only do we do kind of like acupressure and a little bit of massage through the body, but it's also about shaping the body into different yoga poses. So it's like a personal yin class where I just move your body for you.
Yeah, I mean, I actually used to do Thai massage.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And so I would sometimes say it's lazy man yoga. You just lay there and I do yoga on your body. So like when you get a great assist in a yoga class, that's kind of the jam for Thai massage. You just like lay there and relax as much as you can. And then let Kaley lift your leg and anchor across that little half pigeon in her hip stretch, or, all the arm and shoulder work and the twists and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's challenging for the client though, sometimes to give me their body.
Like the permission,
So,
relaxation.
a lot of people want to like help me move them. And so it takes a little, that's why I always recommend more than one session, because the first session, if you've never had one before, you're just kind of like figuring out what's happening. And then usually by the second session, you're a little more relaxed. And then we can actually like get into the deeper fascia because you're more relaxed and allow for me to do it rather than you helping me do it.
100%. And I think too, what you're pointing to is the mental engagement versus the mental release.
Yeah.
So that first time your system's a little bit alerted. What is she doing? What's going on? What's this about? And then by the second, for sure, the third time, you're like, oh, there's a trust that's been established. My mind can quiet down. And then this becomes a deeper, more relaxing experience.
Yeah.
So like, I'm hearing you talk about like moving the body and the physical part of it. And then also the Sen lines in the energy meridians and stuff. Can you please weave together for us, like, what's the relationship between the two?
So when you push the energy through the Sen lines and then hold that new space and open it up, you have more kind of like this flush of energy through the organs. And so each organ holds specific patterns and emotions. So when you give yourself permission to move all that up and out and then open up the space with the stretch, it can help you release a lot more than just tension. You can let go of emotions, you can let go of things that your body's holding on to. So the combination of the two it's kind of like the same with Reiki, right? Like you clear and then you reset, sort of.
Yeah, kind of flush it through, flow.
Yeah, yeah.
And you want to open up that flow. And because the emotions are our health. Is that how it would happen?
Yeah. I mean, if you're holding on to things, like I believe the liver is the source of all anger. So if you're holding on to a bunch of anger, which
no, not me.
Well, also anger is like the all-covering emotion too.
Yeah.
But the liver is a very important part of the body. Like it's our main detox sort of organ.
Lots of work to do in the liver. Yeah.
And so, but if you're holding on to all of that anger, you can think of it as like a cup full of water. And so if the cup is already full because all of the anger is in there, like it's going to overflow, but it's going to overflow all of the bad stuff. It's not going to let any like good stuff come back in.
Yeah. Yeah. I know we could talk a long time about anger because I have like such a practice of anger, and like being culturalized to not feel anger and all the different ways I retag it, reframe it, rebrand it. Like I'm not angry, I'm just really disappointed.
Yeah.
I'm not angry. My poor liver's like, just let it go. So yeah, that's interesting. So I know in Chinese medicine, different organs have different emotions, but this seed idea that our emotions are and our energy form is our first, I don't know, like I want to say like our first line of defense or our first signal or our first interruption that then leads to an illness or a more physical problem.
Yeah.
Like I think once it's in the physical, it's been in the energy for a while.
Yes. Yeah.
So when we're looking at, and I know you work with people with all different kinds of diagnosis or physical things, that they're coming here so that this energy work can support the physical healing. Do you have any examples on that?
I have a client who has made it through 2 different types of cancer.
Wow.
She's been coming to me for over 3 years now. And she comes every month just to make sure that She had breast cancer, lymphoma first, and then breast cancer. So she wants to make sure that her tissues stay relaxed and open so it doesn't result in anything again, because she's prone to getting breast cancer again because of the first cancer that she had.
Right.
So making sure that, you know, we keep that open. And then I do a lot with her arms, with the lung and the heart meridians running down the arms, just to make sure like all of that stays clear too.
Yeah. And there's a healthy flow coming through there.
Yeah.
Like, even like when you say lymphoma, like our lymphatic system, that's like our inner ecosystem. So even like drinking enough water and lymphatic flush movement, massage, that kind of stuff, is super, super helpful to start thinking about our inner ecosystem in the physical sense and in the emotional sense. Kind of important work to do.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It is hard.
Because I don't want to look at that stuff either.
Yeah.
I just want to have a good day. I don't want to like think about how resentful I am about something that's kind of over but not over. Like, we got to do our work.
And it's hard. Like sometimes it's just hard to get it out of the body. And it's not really you holding on to it. It's just, it was such an extreme event that the nervous system, it holds on to things to keep you safe. So it's not always like our fault that we continue to feel this
and
anger.
We can always just say let it go. Okay, let it go. Like I don't think so. I think like when it's in the tissues, this kind of work is really important.
That really the issues are in our tissues.
The issues are in our tissues, and you just can't let it go in one day. I evict you.
I wish, but no. Maybe if we were more Gumby like, or we didn't have so many layers of fascia, it would be easier. But
maybe if we didn't have so much coming at us all day long. That was the only thing we had to do.
We could just live in the rest of our day all day. Things would be a lot easier.
So I know I've been really blessed by your services, so I want to keep going because can we do Reiki next?
So Reiki has been done for thousands of years. There's different lineages of it too, just like yoga. So the lineage that I have learned through is the Usui lineage, which is the most common known, I think. And so basically when people come to me and say, I don't know what I need, because I offer such a range, I always say that Reiki is really good for releasing things. So if you feel like you have, a blockage of some sort, or you have had this event where you just can't seem to get over it, the combination of Reiki and Access Bars will help, but Reiki is always good first to kind of clear everything out and reset like the chakra system and the energy system.
Good spring cleaning.
So most people come like once a month.
And so basically, if you have to describe Reiki to someone who's never even heard of it before, or that doesn't know, I think I would say you're opening your body up just to move energy through you. Like there's a hose, like a fire. I'm just like the fireman holding the hose, and the energy, like the water, just comes through and then comes through
and transfers through
to this person.
And I like that you said that, because a lot of people, when they learn Reiki, they think it's their energy pushing the other person's energy out. And none of it has to actually do with me at all. It's me becoming the channel for the energy to flow.
Which is a practice. And also a gift. Like I've been around a long time. I've had Reiki through a lot of different people. And I know some people that I would never let put their hands on me. Those are like, I'll do Reiki on you. And I'm like, shields up. I mean, really like a trustworthy container. Like you don't, you choose your fire hose. You don't just like pick up any. So like, so, to your practice and to your lineage of, who you are and how you're able to like open up and be that vessel in a way that lets things come through clearly and really supports people. And I think too, when you're doing this kind of work, trusting yourself is a big thing.
And that took a lot of practice for me. I feel like since I learned, my own thoughts, I have struggled with understanding how intuitive I actually am. And so when I do the Reiki trainings, this is a big part of the discussion because messages will come through and there's certain techniques that you can use to figure out if it's your mind wandering or if it is the message coming through, because sometimes they are like the thoughts that come through are so out there. And I'm just like, wow, like I need to focus and like really just be here for this. And then I'll tell the client what it was and they'll be like, oh, wow, that makes so much sense. And I'll be like, okay. That wasn't me actually. So it takes a lot of we have to remember also that the intuition is a muscle. So some people will be like, well, I want to be attuned to Reiki. And I tell them like, you have to practice. You can't just get attuned to Reiki and be able to do Reiki. Like I've been practicing since 2018. And when I got attuned, I wanted clients right away, but I needed to do my own work first. And I had to practice on myself. Mm-hmm. And then that's when it started like taking off like years later. Mm-hmm. So I think
people will say that to me too. Oh, I was attuned. I'm like, in 1997.
Yeah.
And since then, how's it going?
Yeah.
It does. It takes a lot of practice. I think even that level 1 attunement is really for self-healing. And then the level 2 is more
for others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a lot of growth in that. But in terms of what people might expect, can you think of any examples of how Reiki has been helpful for people?
A lot of people walk away feeling really relaxed, and their nervous system can stay in the rest and digest relaxed state for a little bit longer than maybe their typical day. So most clients experience some really deep sleep the day of the session, and sometimes even after, as long as they drink like enough water to kind of clear everything out and take care of themselves. I don't,
And then do you think with repetitive visits, like maybe once a month or every other week or whatever they're choosing, like then that's going to just be a deeper, more anchored experience. I remember I went through a really big tumultuous change when I left my day job to teach yoga full time. Like that was a huge lifestyle adjustment. And I left because I was really, really burnt out. So then I had all of that physical, emotional, and energetic depletion. And I got Reiki like pretty regularly. For several months. It was very reparative.
I was doing Reiki on myself when I had this similar situation. And it was the only thing that like a lot of sleep. I do a lot of work in the dream world, especially on myself. So there is a detox when it comes to that. And I feel
like don't scare people. Not everybody knows how witchy we are.
I know.
We're just a little witchy here. We say it won't hurt you.
We'll actually keep it really safe.
A little bit witchy. A lot of detox. A lot of
and Reiki is really good for detox. I've done a lot of work in the 12-step community, and I think that something like Reiki really helps with that too.
One of the reasons why I like it for that is that there's not a lot of I don't want to say passive, because you're actually taking a huge leap of faith and a huge act of self-love to show up for services like these. Like it's that step in to say, I need help and I want to go deeper into myself with that kind of help. I need help more than a Band-Aid on my big toe. Like I'm going to open up my energy form and really look at what's going on inside and receive help from this person. Like that's a huge soul accomplishment to come to that point of the conversation. It really is. So not to say it's passive, because that aspect is definitely master level, meeting the challenge of life, but it's so compassionate and supportive to the nervous system that I think it's great for when we get like totally burned out. We're at the bottom. It's great for when you're at the bottom.
And that's why I take, it takes a lot. It's very vulnerable for you no matter where you're at, it's very vulnerable to you to come in that room and close the door and just be there with me for a whole hour. So I'm loving you for a while. I just take it very seriously for someone to trust me that much.
Absolutely.
And I think that's really sometimes a little hard to find in facilitators and practitioners. I don't do it for the Instagram credit or anything. I actually do it for the people. So
Just saying.
I'm just saying, I just take it very seriously.
I mean, you can like her and follow her on social.
Yeah.
But that's not what it's really
It's
about.
mostly cat
Yeah.
stuff anyway.
Kaley and her cats. But yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, I think that's, I don't know, your sincerity is one of the superpowers that
Yeah.
really brings that through in a way that actually helps people.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's go on to access bars because it's kind of related to Reiki a little bit.
A little bit. Yeah. I would say it's a Reiki session on steroids.
Yeah.
So like I said, Reiki is really good for clearing. And then once you feel that energetically you're in a, I guess, clear state or clearer state, access bars is going to help you redirect your thought processes. There's 32 points that we work with, and each of these points are related to specific thought patterns.
So let's back up because one thing that's hard to understand is okay, but like what happens when I'm laying there? So in Reiki, when you're laying on the table, you're moving your hands around. They close all of Kaley's services are closed on. All of it. Closed on. Anyway, so she's like, you start with the feet. With Thai massage, and you do some feet work with Reiki. So like hands on the feet, hands on the shoulders, the different, like over the top of the heart, over the top of the solar plexus, maybe on the skin, or maybe just floating above and Reiki.
Yeah, Reiki, I mostly float my hands over the center of the body and then touch the top of the head, shoulders, legs, and feet. And then I use sound is so powerful. So I use the tuning forks as well for each of the energy centers for Reiki. Access bars is all at the head, except for one time we go to the bottom of the feet in the beginning to take the energy back up.
Okay.
And then one time at the hands to run the energy down through the heart.
Okay. But otherwise
we're all at the head.
She's holding points on your head. It's, you guys, there's nothing like an experience. We can describe it all day long. You just kind of have to describe.
Yeah.
And even, like I said, I'm a Reiki master. Like I don't do it for other people, just for myself, but like, okay. And then I can do Thai massage. Okay. But the access bars kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's some sort of magic that was created by a gentleman who knew a massage therapist, and the massage therapist asked him to come into a session and channel these areas for them. And so through the channel, he found the 32 points that he called access bars.
Wow.
And I guess the umbrella of it all is access consciousness, which can also, like anything else, be a little bit culty. And you have to do so many trainings for them. I just did it one time, and I only did it one time because I wanted to combine it with my other services. They're kind of like, you do access bars and access bars only. And I was like, well, I like that, but I also like the other things that I do. So
yeah,
I've only done that one training, but I mean, I feel like the sessions are just so, it's unexplainable, like what a session can be like, because it's different for everyone. But most people like really see vivid colors during the session. Colors of all kinds. Most of the clients are like, I just saw this color and this color. But you can really feel the energy moving.
Am I the only one that cries?
No, I've had a couple of people cry. Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it just brings up like emotional release.
Yeah.
And
because you're breathing.
And sometimes I cry, but mostly it's just like weepy tears.
Yeah.
Like just emotional release and tears will pour out. Yeah.
Some people
have memories.
Some people have a somatic response, like their body will move.
Yeah.
Some people fall. Like my goal is mostly in any session to get you to fall asleep.
You want people that
relaxed. Because if you can fall asleep, then I can get so deep into the layers of the nervous system and the layers of the consciousness that it just is very transformative.
I kind of get high on what you're doing and the feelings and the sensations of it coming.
Yeah.
But now that I know that, maybe I'll just fall asleep next time.
You fell asleep one time.
Did I?
Yeah.
Did I snore?
No.
Okay.
I think you fell asleep. I probably did it in the lights. I think right now.
Yeah. In the lights, because that's really, that would really put you.
It's really powerful in the lights. But I have one client who they like to do it at the lights, but not in the lights because it's just a little bit too powerful for them.
Okay, so the lights is the Light Wisdom and Wellness
Mhm.
Center down the street with the energy enhancement system. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But I want to tap into the people that might not know what we're referring to.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But we do them, I do most of my sessions here at the studio.
Yeah.
But for scheduling purposes, I also
Sometimes.
have that as an option.
Yeah. So sometimes the time works out better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tell us about a couple people that have had this Access Bars.
I've had some people make the wildest life transformations. I've had other people really shift mindsets that they've been trying to work through for a long time. I've had some people have gain the capacity to expand into things in life that they've been working towards, such as like roles in their job or in their relationships or something. It helps you to overall have a larger capacity for consciousness. In a typical Access Bar session, the effects can last anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. So this one is more of a monthly offering, where the other ones can be a little bit more frequent. Not to say that like you couldn't do more frequent with the Access Bars, but I feel like even for you, like you can go a longer period of time now. Whereas like some clients we kind of build up. It has a very similar background as to EMDR. Oh yeah. Because a lot of the times I feel the energy going back and forth, which is like an EMDR thing.
Yeah. You just like prompted me to remember this. So you guys, here's the deal. This has been my experience. Like sometimes my mind it gets a little crazy. And it's just like, whoa, like these thoughts are not helping me. I'm anxious, I'm worried, I feel like I can't get things done in an organized way. I'm being hard on myself in a way that's just not helping me. Like, you know how that happens. And so literally I'll say to Kaley, fix my brain. Like, because she'll put her hands there and all of a sudden the patterns just recalibrate or reorganize and everything feels like, okay, now it makes sense. Nothing out there necessarily has changed. Yeah. But the way this is working has become more effective. This being my brain, so I'm gesturing. But like the way my brain is working has become more effective. Therefore, what's out there can be interacted with in a way that's more effective.
It clears a lot of the fog.
Yeah. Yeah.
In front of the eyes and in the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like right now we're just going through such rapid, chaotic, energetic shifts. Yeah. That it's been really hugely, Access Bars has been really hugely helpful for me. Like some of the things I do because I'm curious or because I want to treat, like I want to, a spa day kind of treat, but Access Bars is definitely something that's under the more therapeutically helpful category for me. And I think one of the things that I appreciate about it is I'm not sitting in front of another person telling them my problems and getting caught in a story, or like my mind is really wicked clever, so clever, and wants to always defend me in some way. Like there's like that ego trap that I can get into. And Access Bars, just relax and let Kaley like run the energy through the channels of your head, and the subconscious will clear out and the thoughts will organize. And I'm not sabotaging myself or having to figure anything out or having to trust and rely on another person to reflect me in a way that's helpful. It's just, this is how energy should be running. So let's help you do that. So yeah, I hope that's a helpful explanation.
And that's why I fell in love with it. And it was like one of those things where I had been searching for it for so long, because I've been through a lot of talk therapy and like it just stuff like that doesn't work for me. I am an EMDR person. Like I'd rather just come in, do something with my brain, help me out. And for me, it's just better than sitting there and getting trapped in the story. Like talk therapy is great for a lot of people,
and
but
for certain times,
and
and
certain
even if
times
you think
it's
about like venting to a friend, that can be
Yes.
helpful at certain times.
Yeah.
Okay. So not to discount or any of it,
But this
is
way, you
interesting.
don't even have to attach yourself to a specific story or a specific reason for it. It gets all of it as much as possible, right? As much as we have the authority to work through in a session, it gets all of that. And you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah.
You could just
So I want to go back. I want to tap back to the mindset thing, because that kind of weaves into it. Like when you say a mindset will change, like this is what I'm picturing. Like this person, did they say to you, this belief is really haunting me. I can't get over my fear of failure for this next project, or I can't get over my fear of scarcity around this, or did they have to say that, or did this organic shift just happen?
Some people know specifically, but most of the time it's just organic. And it's like Reiki. Reiki always goes where it needs to go. Like you could come to me and say, I want to work on this, but the Reiki is going to go where it wants to go. Access bars is similar to that. You can have this and we can do as much work on it as we can, but it also is going to get to everything else that needs taking care of that you might not have shown.
It's not really prescriptive. Like you just like do the protocol, do the whole protocol, the whole system, so that each channel is recalibrated and aligned properly.
Yeah.
And then it kind of takes care of you.
And some people, we don't get through the whole protocol because it needs more time to flush through certain ones. But for the most part, we get through the whole thing.
Yeah, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Usually an hour. Yeah, an hour is a pretty good time. And if I have extra at the end, I usually just incorporate a little bit of Reiki just to seal everything back up.
And how about that beautiful rose quartz IMAX?
Oh yeah, it's nice and chilled. Yeah. Yes. And then sometimes
smiles. She's like, yes,
and then I use like different gua sha tools. Sometimes I'll comb your hair with my gua sha combs.
Well, you won't comb my hair though, will you?
No, only if you want to, but I wouldn't comb your no, just like mostly straight hair. So for you, I would use the rose quartz roller on your face.
Yes, that would be really lovely. Because the rose quartz roller like erases the wrinkles and the stress of time and just puts me back to golden. Yeah. I always feel good after my sessions with Kaley. That's why I had to chat with her.
That's what I strive for.
Yeah. What else is on your mind that you'd like to share with us?
I think we pretty much got it. But I mean, anything that I offer, you're welcome to come to, and I can, well, I don't want to guarantee, but I can promise you I will do everything I can for you to leave as happy as possible. Yeah.
You guys, we get really outstanding reviews and comments about Kaley's work. It's such an honor and a pleasure when you open a business and then these kinds of practitioners are attracted. Like I get tons of asks about, do you need a massage therapist or something? And I really rely on the alignment to bring me the right people, just like the energetic. And Kaley just has been a part of my life for a lot of years, a lot longer than, since before I owned the studio. And we were open a little while before circumstances, arranged themselves so that she could be here. But she's incredibly gifted. And I'm really confident when people book with you that, something good's going to happen. Yeah. In a way that serves their highest, and little Kaley just behind the scenes quietly, with a little church mouse, sharing the good juju so that we can all make our way.
Yeah. Yeah. Just holding our hands on our way home.
Yeah.
Walking each other home.
Yeah. I think, is it Ram Dass?
I think so.
Ram Dass. We're all just walking each other home.
Yeah. Restorative and Reiki is also really good if you want to. It's kind of like a good Reiki tester.
I was just gonna say that's like a great sample. Great, yeah. We know the date. It's June 22nd.
Yes,
is the next Reiki restorative yoga with Reiki. So restorative yoga is nervous system central, just resting in poses that support your body in ways that direct the energy to open and release. In places that are helpful, like your heart and your hips and all that. And then Kaley will do Reiki and you just move through the group. So everyone gets sampling of Reiki that supports the poses that they're in.
Yeah.
And it's one Sunday a month.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really, well,
Usually
it's well
closer
attended.
to the end of the month.
Usually the third or fourth Sunday,
Mhm.
depending on how the holidays fall. And honestly, there's a cap to that. So sign up
Yeah.
because, you know, we come pretty close to the cap most months.
It's actually a lot. I think restorative yoga is the most work intensive class
For
that I
you?
teach.
100%.
I'm not just running around the whole time.
You guys, like, you know, I took that training too, because I've been around a long time, taking a lot of
Yeah.
trainings. And I was like, whew, no, thank you.
It's a lot.
I taught sort of like 3 restorative classes. I was like, that's enough. I'm not a good waitress. I don't care. Get your own tables. Yeah, I've done enough. Yeah, right. So yeah, it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Really.
But
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite one. Yeah, it's really good for the nerves. And a lot of people are like, wow, your hands are so hot. I'm like, my whole body is hot, but
Yeah.
thank you.
A lot
Yeah.
streaming through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's also a lot easier here because of our super special portal.
Yeah, we have a portal here. We have an energy portal. So a lot of people
streams right
will
through.
a lot of people comment when they walk in
Mhm.
what it feels like in here and what can happen in here.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for maintaining it and keeping it with us.
Yeah, I love
I know.
being here. So
I know,
thanks for having
right?
me.
I think our chit chat is done, you guys.
Yeah.
We're glad you listened.
Yeah.
Come in with Kaley. Reiki, Access Bars, Thai massage. It's all on the website, but you're welcome to reach out, telephone or email.
There's some appointment options on the website, but also I can cater to your schedule. The weekends are just after classes, but if you email or call, we can work something out.
Yeah.
So don't feel like those are your only options.
Right. Well, you know, the software asks for some options.
Yeah.
Anytime you request an appointment, it has to be confirmed anyway. But you know, Kaley can work around other times. It's just you know, we have to start somewhere with the software and then we'll take care of you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, reach out. All right, guys. Go with many blessings and remember who you are. So,
thank you.
Thanks for following.